You're on a dry tire.
I'm on a dry tire. Okay, I was just making sure that I put the wet tires on. Seems like it's a wet track. We can tell by the lap times. Interesting. First time I'll be driving on a wet track here in Nurburgring. The wet tires are on, wet setup is on, so good to get a feel. And yeah, just in case we get that in the round 3 in the race. But most probably not, because this is a 30% chance with an unlikely scenario of rain, but it's good to be prepared.
Left side, keep to the right, clear on the left, car 11, just set the fastest lap, 37.935.
So very interesting to see how it feels being on wet tires here in Nurburgring. Very curious, and already it feels insane, honestly. Feedback on the wheel. adjust a bit with the force feedback on the wheel and the detail. The wheel feels a bit loose now, so yeah, that's already better. For a second I forgot that it's wet. Under braking it feels nice. It feels like there is enough grip. So it's just I think on the fast corners you have to be more careful. This guy has been here for I don't know how long. Gentler on the throttle. And here I assume close to the dry it's sneaky, so this looks like okay. Just added a little more detail on the wheel. A bit heavy in places.
It's now a dry session.
It's now a dry session. Better to switch to the dry tires. I don't know if it's worth completing the lap on the wets. Let's go for the dry setup with the dry tires. As I said, I don't expect us to be on the wet setup at all, so we'll be using the dry setup either way. Because even if it rains, it's going to dry up pretty quickly. So this is the setup to be.
You're on a dry tire.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I assume that the track section will be tricky. It will take some time to dry up, but once we get in the Nordschleife, it's stuff. And within maybe 2 or 3 laps, there are people on track. Should help dry the track quicker. doesn't want to steer. Nice because now the lap times will start dropping quickly. I feel like putting in a full stint. That way I would have experienced the track at its wettest state on dry tires, and also see the track improve lap after lap. Pretty much understood. A little bit understeer, but it's starting to feel okay. I think in this part of the track looks like it's drying up. If it's drizzling or if that's water from the track. And Nurburgring, Nordschleife being 25 kilometers long, a lot of elevation changes. It's very normal for it to be raining maybe in one part of the track and completely dry in another. Very manageable so far. The wet, I feel it, the wet patches. As long as we're not over pushing, in case we have to in the race, driving in these conditions is predictable, so we directly have a nice feel of the car and we can directly tell where we might lose it. I think the track section, like before, is probably the most effective if there is any rain. We just have to be a little bit more patient over there. for the tires to get up to temperature. Oopsie. Almost lost it. Of the out lap and the start of lap 1. We're building to it. Let's see where the lap times are in these conditions compared to the rest. I think there are some road. Have to go down to the second gear here for a bit more rotation. It's really on the understeer.
stopped ahead.
As it felt like this section is dried up. We lost it.
No damage. Car looks clean.
Good thing that there is no
28,
damage.
just at the fastest lap. 56.744.
It's almost 2 laps in and the tires are still not getting up to temperature. Almost there. And it's
98. Just at the
feels
fastest
nice.
lap. 21.478.
As long as you don't over push in these conditions. It's very manageable. the track evolves.
Car right, clear on the right.
So in that track section of the lap, first part of the lap, it's still wet, so I think that's lowering the tire temperatures back below 17, and then now it starts picking up again. So track temperature is now 20 degrees, so it's warming up. Getting to a nice ideal place. Tobias, please don't hold us up.
Left side.
Maybe his radio is
Clear.
not working. Apparently the way the blue flags work in iRacing, it's not like we imagine in, let's say, Formula 1, where the blue flags means you have to get out of the way within a certain amount of time. From what I understood, it's more of letting the driver know that the faster car is behind or approaching, and it's up to them to decide when. Their own race, their own class. It's not like they have to hit the brakes on the straight. But obviously holding us doesn't benefit them. They only defend or have to worry about us in their tail, in their mirrors. So they waste time. Usually they move over as soon as they can. times we bought some of the floor cars on the carousel, and it's very unfortunate for them. Many times they just get out of the carousel, which is very annoying. We lose a lot of time. Here is where we crashed before, coming towards it this time. A bit more careful.
Car 28, just set the fastest lap. 21.403.
So now everyone is faster lap times, obviously, because we changed to the dry tires. The track is beginning to dry up, especially here. It's very nice, a lot of grip now. It's just the first part of the track that we have to still worry about. Here just did
Car 24, just set the fastest lap. 20.528.
Right ahead of us at the Ford. I hope we don't catch him too quickly.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
He doesn't fight us. Put in another lap and see what we can do. I think 5 laps remaining, so try to put in all the laps. Being in the middle of the track here, I think is the best, least bumpy. You can still see the spray from the car ahead. What was that?
Just set the fastest lap of the session. Already 2 seconds faster in the track section. Cleaned it up a bit.
Emiliano, are you okay?
You got a slow car on the right. Go left.
Feels insane. Feels insane.
Cut the cord. You got to slow down and give up that time.
What a track. What a track. Every time I drive here, I fall in love with it even more. Feels really, really, really nice. And I think much nicer than round 2. Honestly, I don't know if this 5 kilo reduction does that big of a difference. But it feels very nice. Yeah, even with heavy fuel, Well, feels very good. Not too sluggish.
New fast flat for you.
should be an easy flat here, will not lift at all. No, it doesn't surprise me.
Car 100, 11, just set the fastest lap, 0.066.
So now we're at the 8th flat. I think we should be under it. I think I will do one more lap, and then I have to leave. But a valuable session also, going through the conditions as they changed from wet on wet tires, and then with dry tires for a lap, at least on the track side, and then that's better.
Just hit the fastest lap.
Yep, under 8. Getting close to how it should look like on a dry track. Just this section here where I am losing some time, not going closer into the curb, and it's already better than before, but still a bit tricky. Useless and tricky still to get the curve. Especially the painted area, the green one is always very slippery. From here, I think, except for now, the coming S's still a bit tricky, and then it's a dry track. So here is much better than before. Let's see here. Also much better than before. And from here on, I don't think we have any issues.
Car stop on the right. Go left.
But we didn't decide to reverse a little bit more than that. Already a 755 also, so here we get it faster lap after lap, also lower fuel. The car is getting much lighter, the lap is getting faster. So naturally the lap time follows. As long as we don't track. Don't know also what kind of setup each one is using. Some could be trying a race setup with full fuel, some would load it up to half fuel, some would be on the quali setups. So it gives us an idea, but it's normal for each of us to be doing different things on different laps and different fuel levels. But we get an indication of what the lap times should look like. Still see that the tires are dropping in temperature. I think still due to the wet patches in track section. But it's interesting because once they're in this temperature range, if they drop from, let's say, 85 or mid-80s, and they drop lower towards the high 70s or low 80s, especially in this section. It's a nice thing that we continue to benefit from nice grip, and we don't start overheating the tires and sliding more than we would like. As long as they don't go lower than that. Nice balance. faster lap than the previous one. I would say it's a little bit more messy though. Faster but a little bit more messy. So that would be due to maybe the track improving a bit in first section and the lower field. But this could have been cleaner. I might have time for one last lap. Try and push since we have low fuel, push as much as I can now and see where the limit is in these conditions. As long as I got in some laps and get an idea of fuel consumption.
You just hit the fastest lap.
That's not a big improvement, just a second faster than the previous lap. I'm not surprised, as I said, it was a bit messy. Lost at least a tenth and a half here on this corner on the previous lap. Here it is. So again, Gabriel and I will be participating in the upcoming round 3 for the Nurburgring Endurance Championship this Saturday at the second slot, which is in the evening around 8 p.m. Eastern European time for Cedar Racing. Round 1 was a P2, round 2 was a P5, and this time around we're going for the win. We feel good about the strategy. We worked on a few things. Gabriel got us some valuable information on fuel management. Which in these kinds of lobbies makes a big difference if we can do one extra lap. So, as I said also yesterday, so far from what we've seen in the endurance races that we've been doing, from the sprint races as well that we've been taking part with, Gabriel has been able to show better fuel management than myself without losing track time and pace, so obviously, which is important. He's just managing fuel better but slower, then he wouldn't really care, but he's able to match the pace. match the pace while saving fuel. So that's a very, very nice thing, and a good thing also that we're able to actually look at it in the data. It's crazy where we are nowadays. We just go in. We are part of VRS, so we get our setups and we can look at our data from there. We're constantly recording our sessions, so we can then go and put our cars side by side on the same track or same track conditions, and look exactly at what we're doing differently. We're at a level where one of us is braking maybe 5% more or 3% more or slightly earlier on the throttle, a little bit more steering angle, so we are able to look at all those things, and we can get a good comparison. And when there is something that we're not sure where we're losing time, places where we feel that we're doing our best but still losing time on each other or on another driver, it also helps to be able to go in and compare. So for example, last week in Mugello, we felt like we were almost extracting at one point the most that we could. And then just by looking at some of the data, we were able to see that, for example, on turn 1 in Mugello, we were close to, for example, 75% braking, whereas the coach was using maybe 50%. That's a big, big difference. At one point, for sure, it would be worth upgrading from our current pedals. We use a Fanatec V3, very, very nice, but we'd like to move to something on a completely different level with a load cell. We get a much better feel of the braking. We won't have that travel feel in the brake anymore. That way, those little improvements that we're looking for down the line, the little differences in the trail braking between us and between really the top I-rating. It's one of a few things, obviously, but this is one major thing where also the hardware plays a role. Just giving us the ability to have much more consistent braking and hitting the brake at exactly the amount of pressure that we want consistently. If we're looking for 50%, we can get it. 30%, we can get it. And also rail braking. It's easier to be consistent when we feel like we're pressing against more of a wall than what we have now.
You should fit to red fuel.
That was nice. Without feeling, I think I did a full stint. So it would be valuable to go, as I said,
You've got the fastest
the
lap.
data and look at the differences later, compare with Gabriel and see the fuel and all that. But with 2 sessions now, one with almost dry conditions and one with starting with wet and moving into a dry condition. Also, let me look back and see what we're doing in terms of fuel consumption. All that so that we have a better idea and a better picture for the endurance race this Saturday. Try and be on point with what we want to do. Strategy. The pace is there, we just have to put the laps in consistently, which we already showed that we won't have a problem doing. feels very, very nice with this fuel change. 5 kilos less. I think you could already feel it. So take a shortcut back into the pits. Imagine
They're showing us the black flag.
yeah,
They say you come to court. They're
apologize
gonna
for
hold you for a
that,
while.
but I wasn't going
Pit
to
box
do
in 5,
8-minute in-lap.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
So this is another practice session under our belt. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back again next time around. I think it will be for some quali runs.